All right, guys, let's talk about the box jump. So, how does this relate back to posture, the squat, the push-up, and the jump? It's pretty obvious at the first glance of it. It's a jump. So, what I'm gonna do to set up is my feet are gonna be right under my hips, butt tight, belly button drawn in, holding a Kegel, twisting my feet out, rib cage down, I'm extending tall. I'm gonna stick my butt back and internally rotate so those palms are facing back because I feel that tightness through the back of the shoulder. From here, I'm going to swing those arms to generate momentum as I jump and explode with the hip. When I land on the box, I'm going to quickly come back from that extended position and snap into a position that looks like a partial squat. I may have to change my squat position slightly based on how high the thing is I'm jumping on. This one, my typical squat stance, would have my feet kind of hanging off the edge, so I'm gonna have to land a little bit narrower, but everything I do would be the exact same as a squat, okay? So, it's just a jump, land in a partial squat, and then stand up. If the box is higher and higher, I might be landing in a lower and lower squat, or if the box was lower, I might be jumping up and almost landing all the way on top of it. It just kind of depends how high that box is, how many you're doing. So, from that jumping position, we're gonna swing our arms, jump, stand up on it. Then you can step down, you can jump down. We're gonna have a future video talking about how to do bounding box jumps, why we would do that, and techniques in that. But for this one, it's just really seeing how it relates back to the squat, the push-up, jump, and posture. So, typical things we see go wrong is a lot of people's jumping movement pattern is knees forward, and then as they jump, their knees almost clank together. Okay, so this is such an important basic skill because what we know is when those knees are clanking together, we know it puts really bad forces, especially on like the ACL, MCL in the knee. But we also know it's going to translate into everything else. So we know when you get tired in deadlifts, we're going to see the same position. We know we're going to struggle in our squats with our knees coming in. And we know that's going to have a big impact on your hip, knee, and ankle and the health of those joints. So for a lot of people, it's going to be feeling your full foot on the ground and creating that torque out. That way we're really keeping the knees tracking over the toes as we jump, and we're not letting those guys clang in. So last thing about the box jump is typically in classes, people go way too high on box jumps. So what we like to do in our gym is we'll write the recommended heights, but then next to it we'll write very low or medium, high, or very high. So we'll give you an idea. But the main thing to keep in mind is when we're writing words like low or very low, the best people in the gym can jump on and off of that height anywhere from 100 to 200 plus times, not without thinking about it, but pretty easily. It would still be an effort to do it, but it wouldn't be questionable. So we see a lot of people as they're using a height that's too high for them. They're jumping, and then it looks like they're barely making it on each one. So one, they're using too much effort on every jump for the workout, and they're increasing their risk of injury. Box jumps, in my opinion, is the most dangerous thing we do in here. So a couple of options here. It's dangerous. We've had someone break a finger before because they didn't make it, fell down, and they broke a finger. And we've had a lot of people jump, not make it, and then your shin is right there. You can see these edges are not friendly to shins. So always stay within your ability. Start way lower than you think you should start and go. And then after a few workouts, if you're like, this is way too low, that's when it's time to go up. What we see over and over again is people just grab a box that everyone else is grabbing, and they immediately start by jumping on too high of a box. And now we're increasing that risk of injury, but also we're decreasing the effects we're getting from the workout because now we're doing not the workout that's prescribed on the board. So another option too is we can always get bumper plates out and just stack them on top. So now we can have a lower, softer thing to jump onto. And then if it's just not in the cards, if it's not part of your goals, not part of your training, we can either just do jumps next to the box, or we can step up on the box. And neither of those are perfect substitutes, but again, if you want to eliminate the complete risk of jumping on the box, then they're going to be pretty good options. A way you can work up to a box if you're a little worried is you can take bumper plates, which are plates that are about 1 inch to 3 inches tall, and you can just put one on the ground, jump on it, put another one on top, and then you can just create these smaller boxes that get higher and higher and higher until you reach that point where it's starting to make you think a little bit. Then we know we can come back off of that a little bit, do our workouts right there, and we can slowly build it up over time. All right, so box jump, it's just a jump, but we want to get in that same jumping position. We want to take advantage of really swinging our arms. There's a lot of advantage in the arms. So we want to take advantage of swinging those arms, land in that squat position, and come up. What you're going to see over and over again, especially when you get into the more advanced movements, this ability to drive and extend all the way and then immediately snap back into a squatty position is going to be so beneficial. It's what we do in a lot of our kipping body weight gymnastics movements and a lot of the movements with the barbell, and it's this extension and snap right back. So as you're doing box jumps, we can use that as a skill. Obviously, if it's low for you, I don't need to, and I can just do these little jumps. But if I want to develop that skill, then I'm going to really work on popping my hips and then slamming back. That way, now it's just like everything else. We have a skill that we can develop over time, and we can use it all over the place. All right, talk to you guys soon.